most important players in the competition. He plays for the Collingwood Football Club. His name's Darren Jolly, everybody.
Welcome to the show. Great game last weekend, by the way. You seem to have it over the Swannies at the moment. Does it give you more or less pleasure to beat your old football team?
Well, it's always good winning, and certainly against your old side, you want to get the leg up, but...
leg up.
Yeah, leg up from the team, but it was a good game by the boys.
It's a little bit like pushing over your brother, isn't it? Yeah.
It's another sign of this side's unbelievable resilience that you can go through the week you went through with the Swan stuff and then you come out and sort of band together and produce a performance like that?
Oh, look, I don't think we focused too heavily on the Swanee stuff. We were more interested in trying to get a four-quarter effort in.
The media didn't focus on it either.
No, obviously we blokes didn't, but we certainly did internally, and we wanted to come out and really play good, solid footy against the Swannies.
And it was a great win from that regard because you made your point with Swan and you still got the 4 points. Yep. And Swanee, I understand, has come to the party. He's pretty keen to come back to training. We've actually got some footage of him arriving at training at now keen to become part of the action, so congratulations to you and the club.
That was a good one.
He seems to be taking things pretty seriously. When did the no drinking rule kick in? Was it 2 weeks ago now?
Oh, look, it was a few weeks ago.
It was about 3 weeks roughly.
Around then. We got around as a group and just said that if we were going to be serious about it, we'd give it up.
Because I know since then you've made a couple of changes at training as well. One I noticed this week at training where you've just got just the check. Oh no, Swanee again. That's a disaster. But smart move to make sure keep everyone honest.
Before we leave Swanee go, so there's a lot of talk about who dobbed Swanee in. I mean, your name came up as one of the guys who dobbed him in.
Who?
Well.
I just make that up.
Random sources that we can't know.
It was a taxi driver. It was a taxi.
No, well, Dale Thomas told me it was one of the coaches. But anyway, but you didn't dob him in, did you?
No.
No, you didn't.
I didn't dob him in.
No, you didn't dob him in, no.
No, you didn't need to.
You didn't need to, but you could just tell.
You could smell it.
So how actually did it play? Can you remember how it played out, how you first heard that there's a problem with Swanee, he's turned up a bit under the weather?
Well, I had lunch with Swanee on that particular day and noticed he was acting a little bit out of the unusual.
Right.
And then another teammate of mine just rang me that night and asked if I knew anything about it, and that went from there.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. But I mean, people drinking is not unusual. But there's a no dobbing policy here.
We don't.
We know Mick Malloy. Oh well, because we've never mentioned that Mick Malloy has a six-pack under the desk every show. We've never mentioned that.
I deny that, Darren. I deny that. It's not a six-pack. It's a four-pack because I've drank a couple. Donna, would you like one? You know you want it.
Probably best you don't do that. Hey, one of the things we did notice after the game was Bucks jumping into the team song. I don't know whether much was made of it amongst the players, but
there he is.
For the first time, this year, we believe he's jumped in and sung the song with the boys. Do we read anything into that, Darren?
Oh, no, I wouldn't read anything into that. That's the first time I've actually noticed him in the circle singing the song. And when you guys said it, but I wouldn't. Obviously, he felt like having us sing.
We'd like to think,
it's a big and important win for the club, obviously.
And, the week after Swanee does what he does, you want to provide a united front. And
Bucks was the last premier midfielder. Bucks was the last premier midfielder of that team. He'll be playing next week, I reckon, won't he?
How's he going? Have you noticed, has it been a subtle difference, a significant difference between the way he drives the team compared to Mick?
Look, I don't think there's much difference. Certainly, Mick was probably a little bit more laid back, probably cruised through the week and did his business on the weekend. But Bucks, he wants to make sure that everything's ticked and crossed throughout the week. He's getting a lot better at interacting with the players and being more approachable, which I think that's important for the younger guys.
So he's around a lot, which is fair enough. So, and how do you celebrate then with Bucks in the hotel room, not in the hotel room, I'm sure, but like in Sydney last week, that was a massive win, and you're all very happy singing the song. But afterwards, you have to go back to the hotel, and what do you do? Just sit around and drink.
Get on it, yeah.
What did you do after the game there? What did you do?
Well, we had to go back into town. I had recovery and then had dinner, and that was it.
Just wander off to bed.
Go and chuck a movie on and get ready to go up in the morning.
You wrote
Sounds
a
fun.
great piece. There's always a cup of tea.
Yeah.
You wrote a great piece in The Age about the importance of culture at a footy club, and you talked about your experience at Sydney and how you were perhaps a bit confronted by just how strong the culture was at Sydney. The decision to impose that suspension on Dayne Beams, how important was that in building culture? Oh, no, I'm sorry, Swanee. How important was that in the culture?
Look, certainly it was a great step forward for the club and for the players, especially to put, to stamp that out. If as a playing group, if we made a pledge like that and someone went outside, that didn't matter if it was Swanee or one of the youngest guys on the list. It was important for everyone to get the message that it wasn't acceptable and we had to make that stand.
Because some people argue that certain individuals in a footy club should have special rules because that's what they're like and they'll respond better with some more freedoms. So you obviously don't agree with that?
No, I don't. No, because the message that it sends and the direction that you want to head in, it's too many grey areas. It has to be either black or white, and everyone needs to know exactly what the standards are, and everyone has to live by them.
And one young fella who's flourishing in the new this Collingwood environment is Dayne Beams, and fantastic news for the club today. He signs on for another 3 years. There must have been significant interest in him from outside. He's playing, outstanding footy. He was out of contract until today at the end of the year. It's a sign of, real faith and belief in what's going on at the club that a player would resist more money to stay as part of this organisation.
Absolutely. It's great for Beamsy, and certainly he would have been offered probably more elsewhere, but I think he just really enjoyed the culture and the winning, I suppose, and being at a fantastic club, being at Collingwood and success for years to come.
And also having you as a ruckman feeding him. I mean, you're helping.
That probably helped a little bit.
You're helping these midfielders get their numbers up, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
A lot, man.
It's amazing that he's been able to step into that midfield and play the sort of footy he's playing. It's a strong, tough midfield to break into, and the fact that he's done that is testimony to the young bloke's improvement.
It is, and certainly for Dayne, we've seen a bit of a shift in him this year. He's certainly taken his footy a lot more seriously, and he does everything in the track and on field, and certainly it's paying dividends.
And obviously, with the signing of Beams, there's no money left for Travis Cloke, who's clearly off to Carlton.
We've got Casbot. We're okay. Don't worry about that.
Come on, put it on the table. You're hearing rumours.
No, I'm not.
You're hearing rumours.
Yeah, and the rumours are coming from you, Andy.
Not me, Darren. I'm saying nothing about Travis Cloke, I can assure you.
What I do know something about is how important at your club the relationship between the coach and the players are. And we've seen this over many years with Mick Malthouse and his relationship he shared with some players like Daisy Thomas. This was a ritual they did before the game. It told a lot about the relationship between the two. And here's Bucks before a game. Can't find anyone. No. Anybody? I'm over here. No. Right, we never dished one off in 15 years. No, struggling.
Massive game this week. You take on North, one of the form teams of the competition.
Yep.
Recent record is superb. The average winning margin has been 80 points over North. Does that count for anything as you go into this one?
No, it certainly doesn't count for anything. We've noticed that North have been an improved side this year, and certainly the way they play is very, very quick. So we've watched them and all over this week. So hopefully we can come out and put a performance in like we did last week.
Yeah, you will pump them again, there's no question about that. Hey, did you have any problems getting dressed tonight?
No.
Just because I know.
Where's this going?
It's going somewhere. Because I know she had some issues recently, just out on the ground. Now, what's going on there? Is that a double knot? Or were you looking for some help?
Yeah.
What was the issue there?
It was knotted, and I was panicking because that'd be the most embarrassing thing, getting your shorts pulled down on the footy field.
You don't want to lose your duds on the ground.
No. So I eventually got it. Got it all sorted.
Yes, I think they might have lost that game without you last week. Who knows how it would have played out? But the final centre bounce, Sydney's coming at you again. This is a thing of beauty for purists. I mean, you jump up, you stick the knee into Mumford's side, you stick it straight down Pendlebury side. That's
30 seconds later.
Yeah, straight down Dayne Beams and straight in the goal.
He makes $1 million.
You've added $100,000 to his contract now.
Some people still underrate ruckman, say that they're obsolete and that you don't need one in your side. When you hear people say that sort of stuff, does it rankle with you occasionally?
No, I laugh at them because really they've got no idea, to be honest.
You laugh at those short people.
Yeah, exactly. They're mainly short people that say that stuff. But no, you certainly need ruckman inside and to do all the hard work.
Well, and you do all the ruck work. You do. The whole workload at Collingwood. Do you thrive on that responsibility of flying solo? Do you play your best footy like that?
I do.
What about Paul Cameron Wood? I mean, he was coming in Nova to do work experience, because you won't give him a go.
You must love that because it shows. The way
I do.
You play.
Yeah, no, I do. I thrive on the mantle and I thrive on the physical side of ruck work and certainly to be the number one and take that responsibility. I really enjoy it.
You had Lloyd Brown as your trusty lieutenant there for a while. Is Chris Dawes growing into that role now?
He is, yeah. It's only taken him 20 rounds almost, but he talks about his ruck work, but he only averages 3 or 4 hit-outs a game. No, look, he's great. It's obviously a new position for him that he's never done before, and to obviously to play well up forward and then to come into the ruck and have an influence he's battled with, but I think he's getting better at it.
Yep.
That's good. He would have enjoyed that pump up. Now, another issue that's come up lately is sledging. We had the incident recently with Harry O and Milne, of course, where Milne called Harry O a homo. You can't do that, and he got fined $3,000 for it. Is sledging happen a lot on the ground these days? We obviously heard about that one, but is there a lot of chatter that goes on out there?
Yeah, of course there is.
Yeah.
You'd be good.
You're not bad.
No, see, I'm pretty quiet. As long as if we're winning by like 100 points, I'll have or if someone's wearing pink boots, I'll say something. But, I'm not that bad, but there's players out there that certainly have a word or two.
Who are the best in your team?
Swanee. Swanee's fairly good. He can, but he has that right. If he's 45 possessions later, he can chirp up.
He's even better after a couple, too. Now, Harry O was on Fox FM and he had this to say about the incident with Milne.
Whether it's gay or fag or poof, they're thrown about, but I'll put my hand up and say I'm not perfect, and I've used stuff like that. I have never used that on the field, and I don't think I ever would.
So good to hear Harry O say he would never say that on the ground,
on the ground.
but implied that maybe off the ground.
Definitely.
And we actually managed to dig up some disturbing footage. Harry O.
Get out of the way, you homo!
Probably. Clearly that was not Harry O. Just to clear the air there.
A little concerned how that one was going to go down, but soon to go all right. Concussion's been one of the other stories, and one of the big men at your team, Ange, who's been in front and centre is Kurt Tippett, and there's all sorts of speculation that he might be heading back to Queensland, probably to the Gold Coast Suns, and his prospective coach, Guy McKenna, was asked whether the concussions of Tippett would be an issue before recruiting him to the club.
For me personally, knocked out 6 times in my career, I don't think it affected me greatly.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Have a look at this footage and judge for yourself.
At a non-football area, they still have that want to come.
What is that? No lasting problems.
He was at Collingwood for quite a while, McKenna, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. Before I got there, he was an assistant there.
Was he known for his vacant stare?
No. Boys never talk about it.
Is the concussion issue resonating with the current players? It's a conversation that's going on all over the place at the moment, all over the world at the moment. Is this something that is being discussed amongst the playing ranks?
I'd be lying if I said we talked in this locker room about it, but no, there's nothing. We talk about it. No.
Do we take it seriously enough as a game? Well, clearly the paradigm shifting in terms of the way we're treating concussion. Previously, do you think we've taken it seriously enough? Have you had a really bad one? I
haven't had a really bad one, no. But I think by seeing what Adelaide are doing to Tippett, certainly they're taking it seriously because, it's your brain that's involved. So you got to.
It's important.
Yeah, it's very important.
Well, your brain, you use your brain a lot. Last week we saw Shane Mumford stick one into your back, and the week before that we saw your own teammate Ben Reid bang. I mean, we don't know how you weren't concussed off the back of that. That was a... You wear it,
footage. You should have got the footage of half-time after that where I had a word to him.
Did you?
Yeah, we had.
What did he say?
Oh, he just said sorry, but the words.
That knocked you senseless, though. There's no doubt about that. That hurt a lot.
That
didn't
hurt, yeah, that hurt, and I wasn't expecting it.
No, well, you should you
What
be.
did you say? What did you say to him?
I can't repeat, but I was fairly angry at the time.
You were angry at the time, but after the game, you were willing to joke about it. And actually, your joke, I believe, was a really good joke. But at the press conference straight after the game, he got no respect whatsoever. Watch this very closely.
Yeah, I got a sore head. Read his kneecaps in the back of my head. So we'll stitch that out at the end of the week. But yeah, I was pretty sore.
You're joking about it. They should have given you something, and you were even the next.
It's a good joke.
It was a good joke.
Good joke,
Let's check out the next morning at recovery. You had another go at that joke, didn't you? Let's see how it went the next morning.
So that's how your head is after that collision?
Just about to go and get Reedy's knee in the back of my head now.
I believe that's a closing joke. Stand up, Simon. What do you reckon?
You're one
It's
of
a
the best stand-ups
closer.
in the country. I'll go with your
You
opinion.
are as well, and you are too. Wait on, Andy. You can be funny and
occasionally, sure,
right.
yeah.
Let's do it. Let's our closing
Let's have a
joke.
go.
This audience will give you some respect. You've been great on the show tonight. Come on, get it.
Here we go.
Hang on.
We'll give you the intro.
Yeah, wait, here we go. This is like a heckler, right? No, don't get carried away. You're right. All right, it's like I'm heckling you and you respond to me. All right. Hey, Joels, how's the back of your head?
Yeah, it's good. I'm just about to go and get Reedy's knee in the back of my head.